Hello Twig fans, welcome to Warrior Camping. Now today I've got one Seagrass with me loaded up. I've got a boundless void, that's a titanium one. Got a nice few beers, can of chopped tomatoes, in that pot is some herbs, got some chicken now, my pot's full of cheese and pasta, a bit of chorizo, some white onion, some red onion, bit of garlic and some peppers. So today I'm doing a chicken pasta with peppers, cheese and garlic, a can of chopped tomatoes and a nice few herbs. So let's start by getting some bits out of my pot, and I think we start by chopping up the onion and getting that on to cook. So as you'll see, I've got some white onion with me and some red onion, and I've got red, yellow and green peppers. So yeah, I'm going to have the three colours of the pepper in it and two types of onion. So let's get chopping. Chop up the red onion first, and then I shall light the stove and get that onion frying away. So I'm not cutting the onion up that small. It's smallish, but still quite decent sized chunks of onion. So let's chuck that in my old wok, get it ready to go. Chop up this nice bit of white onion. So yeah, today I've been up the boot fair already this morning, and yes, I did find a tent up there. I'm not exactly sure what it is yet. I think it's an OEX tent, but I'm not 100% on that. I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know what model it is though. It's a small little OEX tent, I think, only because, let's just chuck that into the wok. Only because when I was at the boot there, I found it, and then when I started looking at it, I noticed on the little zips, it's got green tabs on it with a black X on it. Now, I'm pretty sure that's how OEX do their zips. So, I'm not sure what tent it is, but I do think I found today a little small OEX tent. Hopefully it is anyway. So that's the red pepper chopped up. Let's cut up a bit of yellow pepper. I'm just doing the same with the pepper. I'm not cutting it up tiny, but I'm cutting it up smallish. Be nice this, there's not a lot going in it. Just peppers, onion, bit of garlic and that, tomatoes. But there's enough here that you'll end up with something really tasty at the end of it. This will be really nice to eat this pasta. And I'm doing it with the pasta tubes. I've got like them tube shaped ones with me. Only because that's all I had indoors, so I just grabbed them. So let's chop up the bit of green pepper, get rid of that little bit out of there. Same again, just chop the green pepper up, smallish. And then I shall fire up the stove, get this lot cooking away. So yeah, quite an easy dish today, nothing fancy going on, but this is a good one, good camping food this is. It's a nice easy one to do. You don't need a lot of ingredients. This is easy to cook. If you haven't got chicken, you could bung whatever you like in this, or you could do it without the chicken and have it like a sort of vegetarian pasta. If you are a bit of a vegetarian, don't put no chicken in. Or you could put anything in this, and you don't have to put chicken in it. You could put sausages in this, bacon, anything you like you could bung in here. And there's enough here, enough little bits of ingredients to make a really nice sauce for whatever you are going to chuck in it. So that's my little bit of garlic chopped up, and I think I've got another clove of garlic somewhere, so I'll find it in a minute and bung it in as well. So let's get the old one Tigris lit up, get him into action, get him cooking that lot away. So there you go, one Tigris should go into life no trouble today, because it's quite warm today. There's not a lot of wind about, so the old stove should go up like a good one. There you go, that's gone up nicely, the old one, Tigress. And I have just seen my other bit of garlic, so let's get that chopped up. I knew I had another clove with me, so let's get me other bit of garlic chopped up, chuck that in the pan. Now with these garlics, if you squash them a bit first, like what I'm doing, just squash it, and it really does make it easier to peel. So if you just like do what I did, put it under your hand, squash it, and then the skin of the garlic comes off really easy. So that's how I always do it, and it works really well. So let's chop this other clove up. So I'm cutting the garlic up quite small, and then it'll sort of all dissolve into the sauce. If you don't cut it up too small, you'll end up with big strong lumps of garlic in it. And you might like it like that, but I prefer it when it all dissolves in the sauce. So that's why I'm cutting it up nice and small. Or smallish anyway, small enough that that'll all cook down into the sauce. So I chuck the rest of the garlic into the wok, get all that cooking away. Bit of pepper in there, black pepper out of the old grinder. Give it a little bit of that in there. Give it a nice stir around, mix it all together. And then just cook that through a bit before I add the tomatoes and the chicken and that. So that's all I'm really chopping and putting in there. Oh no, I've got a little bit of chorizo with me that I'm going to chop up and put in there, just to give it a nice little bit of the old chorizo flavour. And it is a little bit of chorizo as well. I was going to add more, but I sort of ate most of it last night in the tent. I had chorizo's cheese and crackers about midnight last night in my tent. It was very tasty. So I've got the Vango cook set with me today that I got up the boot fair last week. So let's try it out. I haven't used it yet, so this is the first time I'm going to try out the old Vango cook set. And I reckon these pots will be alright because they're nice condition, these pots. So I'm only going to use the little one today, try it out. So this is my new pot, and I got this last week up the boot fair, these pots. So it was only £2.50, so they are bargain pots. So let's put some water in my lovely new Vango pot and fire up the old Boundless Void titanium Twig stove. And yes, I did actually remember it this week because I kept meaning to bring it out and kept forgetting it. But this week I put it in my bag ready to go. So I've got it with me. So I've retired Tom Shoe for a little bit and I'm going to start using Boundless Voids for a little bit now it's out. And then once I've done a few with this, I'll get another one out, swap them about a bit. So there you go, the Boundless Voyage fires up nicely stove. It is a good stove, that Boundless Voyage. Always seems to kick into life fast. I think that Boundless Voyage, because it's got like that little tray underneath and it sucks air in from the sides of like the little tray, it seems to like burn quick, this Boundless Voyage. It seems to burn hot and burn fast. So I think where it sucks the air in, it because it's coming from the sides of that little tray, the air like speeds up as it goes into it. Because other stoves I've got don't seem to burn as fast as that Boundless Voyage. And the only sort of difference with them is that one is sitting on that little tray and just sucking air in from the side. So the air has to go through the tray a bit and then into the fire. So I think it like speeds up a bit the air because it does like get a burn on quick, that Boundless Voyage. So let's get me pasta on and there you go. I've just got nothing special. Tesco's pasta tubes. So that's all they are. So the water's sort of like nearly boiled, so I'll chuck the old pasta in there now. I might need to add a little bit more water to that, but I'll do that in a minute if it needs it. Because the last thing you want to do is let your pasta boil dry. It will all burn. So I'm going to add a little bit of water. There is not enough in there. So just top that up a little bit. That should be enough now. So I'm just going to add a bit of black pepper to the water. You could add some salt to that as well if you've got any with you. I would, but I haven't got none with me, so I'm not adding no salt to the water. But if I had it here, I would have added it. And there you can see, look, one Tigress, he's happy smoking his big King Edward cigar. I don't know where he gets the money from. They're not cheap, them big fat King Edwards, and he's always got one on the go. He must have a job working for another channel, 'cause I don't pay him a lot. So I'll just give that another little stir around. It's cooking away nicely, that is. And I can smell the old garlic cooking away. It smells nice, doesn't it, the fresh garlic when it starts frying away in a pan. So yeah, at the boot fair today with the 10, I was sort of like about 3/4 of the way through the boot fair, and I really hadn't found nothing. I'd found a couple of really big tents that people wanted a load of money for, and I didn't really want them, and I hadn't found nothing else. Right, let's just get a few more twigs into one Tigress, give him another cigar. I think that's a Cuban, that one. Look at the size of that one. He'd be happy with that. So let's get some twigs loaded into the old boundless voyage. Keep that going. There you go. Twig stoves loaded. They're burned for a good while now, and them big twigs in them. So let's add me little bit of chorizo. Like I said, I would have had more chorizo, but last night in the tent I was eating it with cheese and crackers late last night. Yeah, it was really tasty. But I did manage to stop myself eating all of it, so I saved this little bit, and this will be enough just to give it a bit of flavour. So I'll chop the chorizo up. I'll chop this up quite small, and then this would do the same. It'll just like dissolve into that sauce and give it a nice bit of flavour. Because I am a fan of the old chorizo. And last night I was sitting in the tent, like, I was having a little look at eBay and things like that, and then it was quite late, and I thought, oh, what have I got to eat? And then I just was thinking about, I had chorizo. I knew I had some cheese with me. So yeah, chorizo, cheese and crackers, I really like that. So I just started munching it, and then once you start cutting slices off this chorizo and that and eating it, it's hard to stop and eat. So I did sort of eat quite a lot of it. But I did manage to save this little bit. It will be enough to add a little bit of flavour to it. So, like, yeah, back to this tent. I'd kind of walked past it, looking at this bloke's stall, and I hadn't noticed it. And then I see on the bloke's stall, he had a red bag on the floor, and it, like, had trespass written on it. So I went to the bloke, is that a tent down there, mate, in that red bag? He went, no, mate, it's not a tent, it's like a beach shelter. He went, but I have got a tent if you're looking for a tent. I went, have you? He went, yeah, it's here. And it was up the other end of the stall, so I'd already walked straight past it. So he pointed it out to me, and it's like a little tiny black tent. It's not in a bag or nothing, rolled up really small, and got like a bit of white stuff round it, all holding it together. So I like picked it up, and it felt really light. I went, what is this, mate? What sort of tent is it? He went, oh, it's a tiny little one-man tent. I went, alright. I said, how much do you want for it? He went, you can have that for a tenner. I went, oh, we take a fiver for it. He went, no, mate, it's worth more than a fiver. He said, I'll tell you what, you can have that for £7. So I looked at it a bit better, thinking, should I buy it or not? And then I've noticed, like, a green little tab all rolled up inside it. So when I pulled the little tab out, it's bright green with an X on it. And as soon as I see that, I thought, right, I'm having this. This is an OEX tent. So, yeah, I quickly paid me £7 and put it in my bag. So I really think I have bought an OEX tent. I'm like 90% sure that I've bought a little OEX one-man tent. Now, I'm not sure what it is, because I can't see no markings or nothing on it. Alright, I could open it all up and all that and find out, but I haven't. I'll wait until tomorrow just to come round. We'll open it up and do the little video, because I like sort of finding out what I've got, what I've bought when we do the video. So I haven't touched it. It's just still sitting in my rucksack, but I really do think it is an OEX 10. I might be wrong, but I just think it is. So I was happy anyway, because for £7, gives me this week's boot fair tent. So I had that and then carried on walking around the boot fair having a little look about. And I have found a few other little bits. I found a little gas stove that I got really cheap because the bloke said it doesn't hold the gas canister properly. He showed me when you put like a gas canister in it and you do the lever that locks it all into place, it just pings back like unlocked. But when I looked at it, it looks like some bolts are loose on it. So I got it with 2 bottles of gas, and I gave the bloke £4 for it. It's worth £4 just for the 2 bottles of gas, really. But I have got a gas stove, and it's only one like in the sort of plastic case, in it. You know the ones in the big plastic case. See them everywhere. It's only one of them, and I did know the bloke I bought it off. Well, not know him, but I do talk to him at the boot there. I think that is why he told me it doesn't work properly. The gas bottle like pings out. So hopefully I can just tighten up a few screws and that gas thing will be good to go. And then that, hold on, quick, mayday, it's all boiling over, right? I need to take my lid off that. See, I was chatting away, took my eye off of the pasta and it nearly boiled over and put my stove out. So yeah, the bloke told me that the gas thing has got a fault on it. So hopefully I could just tighten up a few bolts and it'll work. So I'm just going to add my chicken to the wok. Now this is ready cooked chicken. I cooked myself a nice chicken indoors and saved a little bit to bring up here and chuck in the pasta. Right, so where's my pepper grinder? Here we go. So I've just grind a bit more pepper into that. Now I've put the chicken in. Bit more black pepper. Give it a nice bit of flavour. And stir it all in. So that's it, that's all I'm putting in there, apart from the tomatoes. So I'm just going to open my tomatoes and I'll chuck them in. Can of the old chopped tomatoes, throw that in with the onions and peppers and garlic and that. Little bit of chorizo, can of tomatoes. So yeah, I bought the gas stove, £4, looks very nice. And then walking on a bit further, I was getting near the end of the boat there, and I thought, hang on, there's another tent there. Because it was sitting on the floor beside this woman in a little green gillert bag. So I've just put the can of tomatoes into the old wok. So it was like in a green gillert bag. And it was like behind the stall, sitting beside a woman was sitting down in a chair and it was sitting beside her. So I went to her, is that a tent in that bag beside you there, mate? She went, no, it's like a windbreaker or like a windscreen. One of them shields, 3 sections. I went, oh, like one with the guides and that on it. She went, yeah, that's it. You like put the poles in the ground and then it's got the sheet in it. She went, I've only used it once. She said, so it's in lovely condition. It's like, no. So I've just put my little pot in there. There's just mixed herbs in that. And I'll add a bit of tomato puree to it, just to thicken up the sauce, get it a bit more tomatoey. So I went to her, like, I said, how much do you want for that shield then, mate? She went, oh, you can have that for £5. I went, all right. I said, can I have a look at it, please? So she passed it over, and then when I unzipped the bag and that, it does look in really nice condition. So I went to her, will you take £3 for this? She went, no, I'm not dropping on the price. That is worth a £5. It's only been used once. So I sort of looked at it. It still had the price tag on it. It was like £30 though. And then she went, oh, I'll tell you what I'll do. She said, if you want it, you can have it for £4. So I thought, yeah, I'll have that. That'd be handy. So I gave her me £4 and that was it. I bought a little windshield and it does look nice and it'd be very handy, that windshield. Like I said, I'm away in a few weeks. I'll take that with me. It'd be great. Do a bit of cooking behind or whatever. Yeah, so happy days with the little windshield. As long as it's all good, it looks all right. So I just give me pasta another little stir around, and that's really not far off done, that pasta. Another couple of minutes, that'll be done. So I just get me cheese out and chop a bit of cheese up to put on top at the end. Now you could mix the cheese in with that sauce if you wanted. If you wanted it all cheesy and all mixed in, you could bung the cheese in there now and just cook it through a little bit, all the cheese and melt and all that. But I'm not doing it like that. I'm going to just put little bits of cheese on the top because that's how I like it. So I'll just chop up my cheese. This is a nice bit of English mature cheddar. Nice cheese, the old mature cheddar. So I'm just going to chop it up in the little chunks and put it on the top. Now I know it's like what I'm doing, you should be using the old parmesan, but I haven't got none. I don't really buy the parmesan that much. Sometimes I do treat myself, but it's quite expensive, the old parmesan, isn't it? So I don't get that much. I normally just do it like this with a bit of good old British mature cheddar. Now you could grate this cheese on the top, but I haven't got a grater with me, so I'm doing it like this. But if you have got a grater, then at the end you could just grate the cheese on the top. But I'm doing it like that, because I have not got a grater with me. So let's give me pasta another stir. I reckon that's done now, the pasta. Yeah, that's done really, the old pasta. So my little Vango pot, first time I used it, it's done the pasta really nice. Doesn't feel like it's all sticking in there and all that. So this pot is working good on the old Twig stove. Nice little pot. So I'm going to call that on the pasta. That is done really, that pasta. My sauce is boiling away nicely. Bubbling like a good one. So that's done really. Look, that sauce is thickened up really nice. That is just how you want it. That would be really tasty chucked on top of these pasta tubes. So I shall take my pasta off because that is done, and all I need to do is drain the water out of it, and then I am good to go. So I just drain the water out of my pasta. And then I shall start plating it all up, because everything is done. The old stoves have done a good job cooking me a nice bit of pasta and sauce. So now see the water's drained out my pasta, so let's chuck that onto my little camping plate. Might not all fit on this plate. Now it's surprising how much I can fit on this plate. You just got to be careful with it, because this plate is not massive. But I've had it so long I know how to load this little plate. So you get that lot on there, look, away you go. And then let's get the old chicken stuff out. I'll put a bit of pepper on that first. Pepper up them tubes. Little grindy with the old pepper on the tubes. Now let's get me old wok and see if I can fit that lot on the top. Hopefully I can. I'll try anyway. Let's see if I can fit it all on my little plate without it all falling off the sides. So I'm being nice and careful because my little plate is a little bit overloaded. But look, it's all going on now. It's surprising how much you can squeeze onto this little plate, as long as you load it very carefully. So there you go, look, that is all on there. So I shall bung my cheese on top of that, and then happy days, that is good to go, and that looks really nice and tasty. So I shall bung on my good old English mature cheddar, and then I am ready to eat. And that is looking really nice. That is my kind of camping dinner. Look at that, it's lovely, that is. Big plate full of pasta, very tasty. I shall give it another grindy of pepper over the top. And I'm done. So look at that. That is a great looking, big, massive plate of camping food. Cooked on 2 Twig stoves. One of them is a boundless void. The other one is a 1 Tigress. So there you go, I'm spinning the plate again, because I really do believe that if you spin your plate 3 or 4 times, it really does bring out all the delicious flavour from what you have just cooked. So that there, to me, looks really delicious. So I'm going to give it a big thumbs up. It looks really good. Lovely big plate of Italian pasta with a bit of English cheese on the top. Put a nice couple of bottles of beer with that, and there you go. That is a feast. So after I've eaten that lot and drunk them beers, I think I'm going to have to have a nice little Sunday afternoon snooze in my tent before I pack up and wander home. So look at that, there you go, proper camping feast. So get your twig stove out, get out in the garden or wherever you want to go and cook yourself a lovely big delicious plate of camping chicken pasta. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe so you can join me again. See what I'm looking at buying, pitching or burning. So I'm off now to tuck into my big massive dinner and drink my couple of beers. So let's go. Cheeky chicken pasta dinner, cheeky little afternoon snooze.